The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Welcome to the show today. I'm going to change gears just a tiny bit today to bring you down memory lane. I saw something on the news that jogged the old memory. There's been an incident, I guess, in China about some basketball players in Hangzhou, China. What I wanted to do is to tell you about my experience in Hangzhou, China, going back 19 years ago. I had given my first speech in Beijing, and basically what the Merc wanted me to do was to explain to folks what was going to be happen to capital markets in China, bringing in commodities and stocks and how the money came in, where it went, how people made money, how people lost money. And they wanted me to be myself. The Chinese scholars there did not want a professor type. They wanted someone that was a trader type, and I'm about as far away as professor as you could possibly be. So I gave my first two speeches in Beijing, and then the driver took me about 350 miles south to Hangzhou. Hangzhou is the silk capital of China. It is the Beverly Hills of China, folks. It is a spectacular place. There's a giant lake there called West Lake. And of course, I lived in West Lake Village. It's a huge lake. It's several miles long through the city. And it's just first class all the way, big buildings. The hotel that I stayed at had a Ferrari dealership across the street and a Porsche dealership right next door. So, and I was just staying at I think it was like $65 a night 19 years ago. So it was virtually nothing. But I have to tell you the story of going into speech. In Hangzhou, only 1% of the Chinese kids get to go to this university. It's the Harvard of China. To the life of me, I can't give you the name of it because it's a Chinese name, but it is the most prestigious school in China. And one of the directors of dean of educations there was trained at the University of Arizona here in Tucson. So the people here didn't know him, but they just knew that he was trained there about 25 years ago. So anyway, I go into the room, and it's about 500 people stacked up in auditorium style, way up to the top. And there were pictures of me and my books around the thing that they had broadcast up on the thing. And it was really quite amazing. They asked me to get there about 45 minutes early. So I got there about an hour early, just to get set up. And when I got there an hour early, it was already packed. There was no seats available. So I said, oh, what do I do for an hour here? So I started to just talk to the kids and, see what was going on, try to tell them a few jokes if they could get those. A couple of them went over, some of them were duds. But I was wearing a pair of Levi's, and I had a pair of cowboy boots on, and I had a bolo tie, I had a Western dress shirt and a bolo tie. And so I started talking to them about trading and everything. And there was some young girls in the front row there, all dressed in these Chinese long dresses, they were black. I don't know what their organization was, but there was an eraser on the blackboard, and it was just covered with chalk. So I picked up that eraser, and I pointed to the one girl, and I said, now, if you fall asleep during my lecture, I'm going to toss this eraser on your black dress, and it's going to spot you as someone who fall asleep. There wasn't no sound at all. And I looked over at the interpreter, and I said, well, I must have done something wrong with this one. She said, well, ask him. So I said, what did I do wrong? And the young girl said, if you fall asleep in this class, you get thrown out of school. Now that is, pretty significant. Anyway, we finished the talk, and I went in for lunch with the dean of the school, who happened to be from the University of Arizona, and he walked into the room, and he was wearing a bolo tie. The difference was he didn't have a very good bolo tie. I had a really, really nice turquoise one that I bought at a garage sale here in Tucson, and he fell in love with my turquoise bolo tie. So I immediately took it off, and I said, let's trade. And his was nothing. So we traded, and then after lunch, his secretary came out and handed me a little box about 4 inches high, 4 inches wide, and I opened it up, and inside was a solid gold monkey on a little jade base. It was about 2 inches tall. It was about 2 ounces of gold, and it is solid gold, 22 karat. Gave it to my grandson, but that was the best deal I ever made on a bolo tie in my life. Anyway, Hangzhou, if you ever get to China, go there. It's the silk capital. It's really a cool place. All right, the first chart we'll look at here is the DAX, as we usually do, and you can see that's been in a downtrend for several days. We're going to take another trip across the pond here and just take a look at the FTSE, because it's been a little bit stronger, but over the last couple of days, the last 5 or 6 days, it's sold off somewhat, so we're seeing a little bit of some of these stocks on a worldwide basis turning down a little bit, but it's still rather early. Folks, there's one market that you got to pay really close attention to here, and that is this gold market. Let me show you why. And I'm really skeptical of this thing going up, folks. I really am, and I'll tell you 2 reasons why. This is the gold market over the last couple of weeks. You'll notice that we've had those 2 78% retracements. The last one we hit at 1270 last night, and you'll notice that the market rallied up to 1276. That was a 61% retracement of yesterday's high. We're now going back, testing the lows again. Folks, if we go below that low, you know, we're looking at those numbers that we've been waiting for in gold, down about another 30 or 40 bucks. So I can't be really bullish on gold here. And another reason for this is the correlation on gold and the euro over the past several months has been extremely high. I mean, the correlation is probably close to 85%. And the euro had a big spike. I mean, we rallied over 100 pips in the euro last night when Yellen was speaking, and also the ECB guy was speaking, and you know, gold could hardly budge. I mean, it rallied $4. I mean, it's nothing. This is not a bullish sign in gold, boys and girls, at least from the way I look at it. I don't know if that's the right way to look at it, but that's the way that we're taking a look at it. And remember, what we've talked about several times is the fact that the silver market, as you can see from this daily chart, has been, you know, really not very bullish. Anyway, looks like we could be getting lower in some of these grains, but we'll have to wait and see if that is going to pop up. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be doing I'm hosting the webinar for John Jameson on cryptocurrencies. It's not about cryptocurrencies, folks, as much as it's about the situation with the blockchains. That's what it really. Blockchains is what the internet was 20 years ago, and this is really important stuff. I mean, it's all computer related, but and it's not easy stuff. But he's put it in a really great format, and it's really interesting. And you'll see how all this stuff comes about. And it's quite technical, but you can understand the reasoning behind it and why people are so interested in it, and especially why you know, some of these big institutions like Federal Reserve banks and other banks are interested in it. And the reason why they have to be interested in it, because it's an open source code. In other words, someone gave it to everyone, just like the guy that invented the internet, Al Gore, gave it to everybody. So this is what this guy, Sashimi Yakamoto, or whatever his name is, it's a pseudonym, but he gave it to everyone, and that's what we got. It's the future, folks, and believe me, color TVs are here to stay. 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, I wanted to talk a little bit more about this gold chart that we were looking at before. I posted the 4-hour chart here, and as you can see, we've got a whole lot of ABCD patterns down here. A lot lower. The $64 question is, you'll notice that 1.618 on the weekly at 1267 is held so far. And folks, this could hold. It certainly could. In other words, this 1267, 1270 level could hold, and we could start a whole move up. Whether it's going to do that or not remains to be seen, but it's a really critical level. We saw this in the wheat market, in Minneapolis wheat over the past 6 weeks. It hit that number about 6 times, and then continued to go higher. So we really need to respect it. I have a bearish bias, but believe me, if we could get above 1287, about $15 from where we are right now, this would have a pretty good chance to have a tremendous move to the upside. The overall evidence does not really support it, but it still could really be really a really thing going here. So let's take a quick look here at the gold here on a little bit smaller time frame. Hold on here a second, and I'll do the one question at a time. You're asking about crude oil, but you'll notice that we still have a move possibly coming in the downside here, and we'll take a look at it. I'll answer your question about the crude oil, Matt, in just a second, but I wanted to bring up the chart of the XAU, which is the gold silver index. And as you can see, it's still holding at the 78% level. It didn't even break that as of yesterday. Of course, gold was up slightly yesterday, so they're saying that it's down lower tonight, this morning, but I have not seen that, so I don't know that. If we break that, that's telling you that that's not a very good sign, and we'll see. I don't know where it's trading overnight. It closed at 80.62. And if it gaps down below that, that's not going to be a really very, very bullish sign. It's trading at 12. Well, gold's trading at 1272, but where's the XAU trading? Do they give you that pre-market? I don't even know if they have that on a pre-market basis or not. So we'll see what's happening with that as we go through. Okay, yeah, the social media is getting hit quite a bit, and as they should. These people, these kids are just spending way too much time with these little, here, let's forget this, what I'm talking about. I'm an old man. No one listens to me. So this is my 2 cents worth. I had a wooden truck. That was my toy. So, and I also had a wooden gun. Those were and my grandfather made those for me. Anyway, let's get back to the crude oil market. The crude oil I think it's really ripe. Yeah, it's a little too late for me to jump in, my boys and girls, because I think we're getting ready here for a pretty substantial leg down in the crude oil. I'll bring up the chart here and take a look at it. You'll notice that we made the 1.27 expansion on the weekly. We made 3 ABCD patterns up there. Right now we're trading at around 56.40, so it hasn't really done very much over the last few days. It's been a very, very quiet sell-off. So there's no indication. You need a move of about $1 a barrel or more lower. That would give you the first indication that there's a potential top in the crude oil and in the heating oil markets. But as of now, you're not seeing that. It's very, very quiet, with virtually nothing going on, and that's pretty much natural gas. It looks higher to me, but I would rather buy it on a pullback at a 382 pullback. We had that really strong move with the past couple of weeks with the gap, and then we made some type of a major top in here. So if it backs off to the 382, then I would say that would be a good place to really good place to look at it. That's the way I would follow the natural gas, and we'll see if what's going on. Okay, a question someone's had. Just one second here, and I will get it up here. And okay, so natural gas has turned and gapped up again. Well, since we've got a minute here, let's just pull up the natural gas chart. I'm certainly able to. I'm certainly able to do that. I think I can do that technically. See, natural gas starts with an N, doesn't it? It used to. There it is, NG, and let's just take a look at it. No, it has. I don't see it gapping up. See, is that right? No, this is just about what we're looking at here. This is pretty close, boys and girls. Hold on just a minute. This is almost what I thought I was going to do. I think it's got a chance here at the 30. Hold on, let's get up here and look at this together. But if you'll notice here in the natural gas, I'm looking for it to come down to the 305 level, and we're trading at 307.80 right now, if that's correct. I don't know. I don't get overnight on this. Let me just double check, see if it hit 305. No, it hit 306 and change. So if we get 305, I would take a look at that from the long side. In the natural gas, because you're certainly able to buy it at a discount as opposed to buying it when it's going straight up. So just keep an eye on it. Now, folks, we had some retracements. We had a perfect Gartley pattern form in the Nasdaq last night around the 63.19 level, and now we've broken down. We've already exceeded the objective on the downside. So. That's a real interesting one that we could be topping here in some of these indices. I believe the IWM has already topped 2.5 weeks ago, but the Nasdaq made new highs, the Dow made new highs, and the S&P made new highs. So it was only the Nasdaq IWM that didn't make a new high, but the market's still a bit overbought. There's one that's really interesting, folks. We're going to cover this here because the end. You want me to show you that? Yes, I will. Well, we'll do it together. Since I got time here, we'll just bring it up for the little princess over there in on the Upper East Side in those big mansions where all the rich people are. Hold on one second here, and we'll get this up here to take a look at it. Give me 1 second. I think this was on my 30-second oscillating oscillator is what I was using. Hold on just a second. 1 second here, and we'll get it up here to bring it up. Hold on 1 second, and I'll put this ABCD in right there, and that'll do it. And then I'll push it up to you, and you'll see what I'm looking at, I hope. Hold on 1 second. Yes, I know you do the laundry in those big houses. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I know how that works. Anyway, you'll notice that we did make a little Gartley up there at that 13.19 level. And went up and touched it twice, as a matter of fact, and then it sold off quite a bit. Now, there should be some support here, because if you don't get support here at the 78% level, which is just a little bit lower, which is around the 62.90, if we break below that, folks, you're looking at the next move down is going to be somewhere around 62.55. So that's a possibility of having a big move in that today. But whether that'll happen today, I don't know or not. But if we break below 62.90, that would be a failure of a 78.6 Gartley, and usually it goes to the 1.27 or 1.618, as you're looking at. We're seeing the same situation in the Dow E-mini. It was up about 40 points overnight, and now it's, substantially lower. So some selling, is coming in a little bit. It's mainly coming in, from Asia. Europe's down just a little bit, but they're giving a lot of information. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento and John Jameson are teaming up for a live hour-long webinar Wednesday, November 15th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, titled The Hidden Secrets Behind Trading and Investing in Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are some of the most volatile trading markets in the world right now, and this is a webinar that you will not want to miss. In this live 60-minute webinar, John and Larry will discuss a variety of topics, including where cryptocurrencies trade and how to get started, how to recognize supply and demand in cryptocurrencies, and the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and why knowing this one piece of information puts you in the top 1% of cryptocurrency traders, as well as many more topics. Visit the front page of TFNN.com for all the information and to sign up today for Fibonacci 24/7, and we'll see you Wednesday, November 15th for the hidden secrets behind trading and investing in cryptocurrencies. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I fully expect my alerts to go crazy here because I got a bunch of alerts going on. So if they start getting hit, I'll have to take a second to see which ones are moving. We've got a really interesting pattern, folks. This is Mother God and Country stuff. By the way, I think it's great that Colin Kaepernick was made the Man of the Year by Gentleman's Quarterly, one of my very favorite books. Anyway, let's take a look here at this. Why do I start that political crap? Let's take a look here at the Treasury bond market on an hourly basis. My mic went dead. Well, my age, anything could happen. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it okay? All right, good. Well, let's hopefully I see. As soon as I start talking about politics, it's way beyond my pay grade. I'm just too American, I guess. Anyway, let's take a quick look here at this Treasury bond chart, folks. You know how bad the Treasury bond markets looked on a long-term basis and short-term basis. This would be our first 38% retracement that we've had in quite some time. In fact, it's about 5 days. If we get it up there, you'll notice that level at 153 and change. Watch that, because that's a 382. Now, if we get above that, that means we're probably going to go a little bit higher, but we are very much oversold. There's no question about that. But this market is very, very bearish, folks. I know the Federal Reserves of the world are meeting over in Europe and telling us that the rates are going to be low forever, but that's not what the market is telling us. Bonds topped well over 18 months ago, as did notes. And when you stop and think that the German 10-year rate is at 0.5, and our U.S. rate is at 2.1, I mean, give me a break, folks. It's not 4 times better than we are they? I mean, our money's just as good as, the euro, I would think, at least, maybe not today because it's under some pressure, but that's neither here nor there. Watch this pattern closely, folks. This is really interesting. So that it must be, they're asking a question about the dollar and the correlation with gold. The last 5 days, it has been over. There's no question about it. Gold's been almost straight down, and the euro has been almost straight up. We brought that to your attention in the letter this past week when we were doing the 24/7 newsletter. There was a very strong probability that we were going to get a pullback in the U.S. dollar index down to this roughly 93.50 level. We had the beautiful head and shoulders pattern form between August and September and October, just absolutely perfect. The low in August was equal to the low in September, and that measures up to the 96 level. But we could also have a pullback because we only took out the previous week's high by 1 tick last Thursday, and then we've sold off. Now, I don't know where the U.S. dollar index is trading right now, but there should be some pretty strong support, down around the 93.60. And if we go below 93.60, then you're going to be damaging this picture for a head and shoulders pattern, and that means that we could be looking at something, a lot more, strong. I cannot believe that none of my, it hasn't even come down that much. 93.67 is what we're supposed to get to, and it's only at 93.97, so that's not really much of a change. So I don't think anything has changed, from my perspective, looking at it technical. If we get below that 93.40 level, then I would say, yeah, the euro's probably got a chance to go a little bit higher, but not right now. All we've done so far in the euro today is we've completed, I don't even know if it's completed or not, but the 5-day rally comes in at the 78% level. Now, I thought the 61% level would hold at 117, and they immediately deducted $200 from me and told me to go past go. But the next level is, watch this, 117.75 level. That's going to be an interesting one to watch in the euro. But it's been a vertical ascent here last night. We moved well over 100 pips, starting in about 1 o'clock in the morning, New York time, and that was basically the opening of the European session in London, and that's why it's continued to go a great deal higher. So we'll pay a little bit of attention to that because that controls a lot of the things that we're looking at. I just wanted to show you this euro chart, what it was doing last night. This was relatively early. It's about 1 in the morning, as I recall. I'll show you the pattern that I was looking at, and we had this really strong wide range there, and then we went right up that near that 117 level, and I said, well, I have to nibble at it there with a 20 pip stop, and believe me, I was in that trade the total amount of maybe 15 minutes on the total, because then it just accelerated rapidly to the upside, and it's continuing to have that pretty good move. Now the Nasdaq is now breaking down below that real key level of 62.90. We're ready to break through almost on the Dow E-mini at that 23.10 level. If we broke below that, those are really negative things, folks, if that happens. Now, hasn't happened as of yet in the Dow E-mini, but it's already happened in the NASDAQ. Now, whether it's going to continue that way or not, I'm not sure. Now, gold is held. We went down and tested 1270.50 one more time, so it still has a bullish bias. So we'll watch that with a great deal of interpretation. Now, we do have Norm Winsky coming on Thursday. That'll be the 16th. Don't forget, the webinar with John Jameson is tomorrow, folks. Try to get to that if you can. He's a lot of fun, and he really knows his stuff, and you're going to be looking at what the future is if he's correct, and he knows what he's talking about. So we'll have to pay particular close attention to that. And of course, we'll have Norm Winsky will come on Thursday. That'll be right before we have the new moon coming in, and that's always an interesting time. And this will be an exciting new moon, as most of them are. But that's it. Keep an eye on this. The main one to watch today, folks, that I think is important is this Treasury bond move. If we get this up to this 153 level, that's going to be an ABCD pattern over the last 3 days. It's going to be the first 382 retracement we've had since the market topped up at that 154.28. So it's worthy of a nibble at that point. So watch it very, very closely. We're at major support right now here in the stock market, folks. We hit 62.80 in the NASDAQ. That's taking out the previous low point. The Dow Jones E-mini has not taken out the low of the 78 level at 23,300. Let's double check the old stop and P, see what it's doing here, and see what we got here. There is S&P. Hold on one second, and we'll get this up here. Oh, I got the wrong symbol. Doggone it. Just a second here. ES is not EN. Hold on a minute. Are we below 1272? No, we're at the same level. That Gartley yesterday came in at 1271. We're now trading at 1272.50. If we break below that 1269 level, this has got a little bit of a downward bias. But, every time this market opens lower, their buying comes in. So watch this first hour of trading, boys and girls. That's fun time.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Think or Swim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, folks, we're back. I want to take a second here to take a look at the crude oil chart. I believe I posted it into the den here so that you'll take a look at it. It's a hourly chart going over the last 10 days of trading. And as you can see, we made the high there on the 8th on that early in the morning. Then we backed off. And look, you notice that the lower highs that we've had here over the last few days, each of those has been a Fibonacci number. And they're very, very close to the exact numbers. But see what's happened now, folks, is we're down 5 days, and we're only down a buck and a half. That's not bearish action. So I certainly wouldn't sell crude oil in the hole here. You needed to get it down about $1.50 in 1 day. Then that will give you an idea that that's what it is. But maybe you can sell crude oil in a hole like this. Your risk would still only be $1 a barrel, but I would rather wait for a very, very clear pattern. Right now, it's setting pretty much at the 50% level of the, that intermarket low that we made back on the 5th of November. So that's, pretty much what I'm looking at. I wanted to spend just a second here because the reason why I mentioned the thing about Hangzhou and the basketball players and stuff like that is they let the basketball players go. They were basically, evidently, I don't know the whole story, but they say they stole some luxury goods. And believe me, luxury goods in Hangzhou is not a big deal. I mean, every other store there is a Louis Vuitton, a Versace, or Gucci or something. I mean, it's the highest end. I mean, there's big time money there. I mean, it is really a spectacular place to go visit. Anyway, they have supposedly taken some stuff. Now they're coming back to the United States. I don't know if there's going to be any repercussions of this, but folks, if there's not, it's broken one of the most important trading rules that you could possibly ever believe in, and that is rewarding bad behavior. How many times have you seen it where you've put a trade on and you get rewarded for it, and what does that do? It thinks that you are actually smarter than you are. So what happens? This bad behavior just keeps going backwards and backwards and backwards, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. So the pauper has to be paid sometimes, whether it's in our lifetime or not, I don't know. But rewarding bad behavior is certainly not a good thing. When you make an error, take responsibility for it and go on. If you make money for it, the way I do it is I try to donate that money, to a worthy cause, of which I like the push-ups for charity guys, the Navy SEALs that give 99% of the money to the veterans. That's one of my favorites. And also this time of the year, the Gospel Mission. My good friend Mark Douglas and Paula, for many years, every Thanksgiving, we would work at the Gospel Mission up in Scottsdale. And believe me, they have a Gospel Mission in Scottsdale too, or in Tucson's where we started. And we would cook and clean up and spend the day and had a lot of fun. And but that was our way of giving back just a little bit, from that area. So try to give a little bit back during the holidays. We've held the numbers pretty closely now in the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. So there was still a possibility this thing could go. We got a caller from Detroit, Michigan. John, are you there?
Yes, I am, Larry. How are you today?
Very good. What can I do for you, my friend?
Larry, I love your show. I just want to tell you that. I listen to it every day. And I'm a silver trader. And one of the things I wish you could help me with is with not Fibonacci retracements, but how to set Fibonacci advancements. I look at your charts, and it'll say, we're going to move up to a 1.61 advance, not a retrace, but an advance in the future.
Sure.
How do you set those up in time, and how do you set those price parameters? Can you give me insight on that?
Let me put up the silver chart here, and we'll look at it together here. This is a really great question, by the way. If we take a look at this silver chart, if you just look what's happened since August, when we made the high up on September the 5th, you'll see the ABCD pattern that was there.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see the chart or not, but since that time we came down. We stopped exactly at a 61% retracement, and then we rallied up to a 61% retracement. All I do, John, is I take that AB swing, and then I put the contracting ratios of 618 and 786 to see where it corrects to, and then I also put on it the expanding ratios of 1.27 and 1.618. That's all I'm really doing. Now, as far as time, time is really elusive. So what I try to do is I count the bars in the AB swing, and if the bars in the CD swing are equal, that's telling me that time and price are pretty much spot on. So then I have a really good place to say this is where I really want to make a decision on going long or short. I don't know if that helps or not, but it's a pretty good way of doing it. I don't know if you've got my book, Trade What You See, but it's covered in that book.
Okay.
But if you go through that, you'll be able to see how I do it, and it's quite simple. There's no higher mathematics or anything like that. It's just simple, addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and so it's really quite easy. And you just look for things that look natural. If they don't look natural, I don't trust them, especially a 3-drive pattern or a butterfly. If they look really pretty, they usually work pretty good. But that's just me. But I'm remembering, I'm certainly not a big thing of the market.
None of us are we?
Nope. We're always learning. That's for sure.
This is the thing, isn't it? You're always learning.
Yeah. Trading is a journey, not a destination. That's for sure.
That's right. Well, hey,
I hope that helps.
Very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, if you have any more questions, drop me an email, and I'll try to, give you a couple examples, and I'll even make a little video for you if you want. But it's larrypesavento@gmail.com, and I'll try to push you in the right direction, because that's what John Hill did to me 47 years ago. So I can't believe it's been that long.
Well, thank you very much. May I throw one thing out there?
Sure.
For you, and I also look at, I read Martin Armstrong's blog. And I know you've mentioned him. I know you know Armstrong. You've met him before.
Smart cookie.
He's, I think his Dow target was roughly 23,700, and he's calling for something to happen around the 24th or 25th here of November. Not a major correction, but a correction. And at some point, if I'm reading him correctly, he's calling for what he calls a slingshot move, where there's going to be a huge correction, because I think it's going to be triggered by the bond market, which you're talking about.
Yep, that's the problem.
Then the USA is supposed to be the only market. The Dow is the only market that big money will play in for safety, and that's going to slingshot the market back to new heights. And when I listen to your show, when you have your cycle guys on, it seems like everybody's saying the same thing. They're all looking in the same direction for the same kinds of activities. Yeah. And I just wanted to throw that out there.
It's a really good point, John, because when everybody's looking in the same direction, it's best to look in the rearview mirror. That's the way I try to interpret that. So we'll see. But, Martin Armstrong is one smart fellow. He's really big into sacred science and the numbers of sacred geometry and astrology and economics and everything. He's a really bright guy. But, hey, listen, thanks for calling in, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Larry, for all you do.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the kind words. 877-927-6648.
I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Basil Chapman has just announced a special subscriber event taking place Monday, November 20th from 5 till 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. What can you anticipate for 2018? In this 90-minute webinar for subscribers to Basil's daily trading newsletter, The Opening Call, he will be discussing a variety of topics for the coming year, including, can high techs continue to lead? Will the financials be affected by yields, and where will yields be in 2018? The chances for inflation or deflation, what stocks could be affected or weakened in the coming year, as well as Basil's long-term outlook for the dollar and gold, as well as many other topics. For all the details and to sign up for a 30-day free trial to The Opening Call, visit the front page of TFNN.com today. With nothing to risk, this is a great time to try out Basil's daily trading newsletter. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I've put up the chart here of the Dow Jones. Hold on a second here. Of the Dow Jones, you'll notice that we've got a whole bunch of gaps. There's 5 of them going back to the solar eclipse of August the 15th. And I think we're going to be filling those. We'll probably be filling them very, very quickly. That's my guess. And the reason why I say that is there's just so much complacency there in the market. And believe me, there's enough things in the news that could make this market move a lot. It hasn't yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to. It'll probably be something really insignificant. You know, I don't know what that would be, but I don't think it'll be anything big, you know, but that's just my 2 cents worth. But it does look like we're going to start filling some of these gaps. This new moon that we have coming in here at the end of this week is going to be a very big one, and it should be quite interesting. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over some commodities to look at, because we've got this new moon coming in, and we've got some really great patterns happening in the grain markets that look really interesting, and we'll see what's happening. I want to thank one of our folks in the den, Mr. Marshall Robinson, for all of his help that he's given me today, and his lovely wife, Lynn. And I wanted to let you know, Marshall, that Kelly and I went to Guadalajara in your honor yesterday. So when you get there, there's going to be a bill for you to pay. So don't forget it. Anyway, boys and girls, that's what we're looking at here today. So keep a close eye on these things, especially, and I repeat, especially 153 and change in the December Treasury bonds. Now, there's a chance that they go blasting through there to the upside, so your risk there would only be about a half a point. So that's really what you want to look at. So that's pretty much what we're watching. And it was Kelly. You remember Kelly, my neighbor? Anyway, we'll move on. Kelly is 93 and is as sharp as a tack. That's about it, I think, for the show today. So we'll keep in touch. If you get a chance, make sure you sign up for Adrian Tolgaray's thing today, and then also for the seminar with John Jameson tomorrow. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.